The reason you feel lost isn't because you don't know what to do, but you distrust the voice that already told you. The concept I'm about to introduce today is a very unique concept. If understood and applied, would make a ton of difference as touching your life and destiny. Intuition. Intuition. As vague and as easy this concept sounds, it makes a ton of difference as touching your life and destiny. Think about it. Every single time you distrusted your guts, you paid the price. And every time you followed your guts, things magically aligned, even if they didn't make sense at the infancy. Now, the problem with intuition is the action requires to get the desired outcome is illogical. It goes against everything considered stereotype. It goes against everything that's common sense. The actions is illogical as touching the outcome. For instance, you desire success and you have this gut feeling to walk around the streets doing random interviews. From a logical standpoint, your mind advises go get a job, do something new, learn crypto, or all of these outlets that is far away from your gut feeling. How do you make money? By walking around the park and interviewing people you see. It doesn't make sense. Yes, now there are a lot of people who have become profitable from that outlet. So now it kind of makes sense. In fact, for some people would defer from taking that kind of action. They feel the niche is oversaturated. There is no space for them. If that's the feeling you battle, I'll give you an example that dispels that wrong concept. Think of it this way. How many musicians have risen over the past 2 years? Exactly. There's always space for you. The Bible captures it perfectly. A man's gift maketh way for him. A man's gift maketh way for him. To disregard this wrong mindset, starting a YouTube channel, it's already late, or going into a certain kind of business, it's oversaturated, and in some cases, that might be the case. As long as it's your gut, I want you to follow it. There are times in my life where my gut has saved me a lot of money, saved me a lot of time. I'll give you an harmless example. At the infancy of my career, I did everything right. I read the books, I drafted the business plan with no money in my bank account as a commitment to show the universe I'm prepared. I did every single thing, every single consecration demand. And guess what happened? The universe decided to reward me by making nothing happen. In that state, very disgruntled and bitter, I've given the women, I've given up the club, I've given up every single thing. There's nothing I did not do to achieve this goal. And here, what am I paid back? What did I derive from every single consecration? What did I gain from all of this suffering? Nothing. And I kept getting this urge to read books on mindset, transformation, your mind, understanding manifestation at an intricate level. It's something I battled for months. Finally, I decided to give in. Upon heeding to this nudging, I quickly discovered I was the person limiting myself. I'm being as vulnerable as possible. I come from a country where limitation is the norm. To see someone climb to a certain echelon is unprecedented. There are people who, as a reason of the environment they came from, taking a step forward or two steps forward is enough. They are complacent by default. This has nothing to do with whether the person is hungry, bad, good, or evil, but the kind of environment which they stirred from. Complacency is the default. Trying to achieve the echelon which I desire, although I believe it's possible by my actions, but truly deep down in the cravings of my soul, I still thought there's something I need to do. As a consequence, I would delude myself into believing there's one more podcast, there's one more book to read, there's something additional to this business plan, there's something else I need to do before I believe I'm worthy for the desired outcome. You know how that story ended? Exactly. And let's diverge for a little bit. Your desire is a midwife between you and your mental attitude. It's not really the externality you seek. What you seek is how it makes you feel. If you can scratch the desire and get to the end product, it becomes easy for you to start attracting things. Everything becomes easier. Previously, I would try and base my happiness on externalities, and I'm sure most of you in the comment section will be shocked at the level of vulnerability I display. Yes, I'm confident, yes, I'm intelligent, but I truly believe your belief is the thermostat that regulates your accomplishment. You can have all the skill in the world, you can have all the intellect, but if you do not believe you can conquer earth, guess what will happen? Exactly. And I've told you before, it's not necessarily limited to the law of manifestation and attraction and all of these abstract but wonderful concepts. But the limiting belief will prohibit you from certain actions considered as risk, costing you not to achieve the exact outcome. Big stakes comes with big risk. Big stakes comes with big risk. And if you sustain the mindset, clinging desperately to what it is you have and trying not to lose, trying to remain neutral, guess what will happen? Exactly, you would never advance. Never advance. So mindset, your belief, is equally as important as the skill acquired. I'll repeat myself. Your belief is the thermostat that regulates your accomplishments. It's very difficult for you not to believe in a said thing and achieve the outcome. The logical breakdown would be when it gets stuck, as it would be, your mind discourages you from action taking, ultimately leading to your defeat. One problem about intuition is, as everything in life, you do not see the immediate results from the process of action, feeding the debilitating reality to feed your position that it's impossible. I told you this wouldn't work. How does reading books, how does studying charts make you successful? How does improving your communication, how does recording yourself cook somehow make you successful? It doesn't make sense. But is there a billionaire? Is there someone who sprays salt with $1 billion net worth? Think about it. in today's day and age, there's a billionaire somewhere who built a brand, Offspring Soft. You do not believe your content, your brand can be built. Henry Ford said it. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. If you believe you can or you can't, you're right. Believe. Believe. Very important. Follow your intuition. Follow your intuition. Just like I don't want to recall the various consecration demands it took to get here. I came from a very small place, or the community I was staying during my uni days. They had little to no electricity. The roommates I had consumed all kinds of drugs. I would sit on the floor, understand stuff, understand percentage. How does money work? Who controls it? When people lose money, where does it go to? Who holds the task? How does the stock market operate? When the Federal Reserve raises its percentage or reduces its percentage, who benefits? How can I position myself? What asset class are convenient in those situations? That's were the kind of questions I was asking in my days in uni. What were you doing? Trying to stop yourself from logging on a website? Is that your problem? I'm amazed at what you, the human species, call problem. Like, I and my girlfriend has issue. You argue with your woman, you can't tell her to shut up. But once you begin this journey of purpose, once you begin to listen more to your intuition, there are certain problems that wax like sun. There are certain problems that disappears like wax before sun. Life is cause and effect. You'll hear me say. There are problems today in your life that are consequences of purposelessness. For instance, addictions, drugs. Addiction in and of itself can be segregated into various components. So you, the average individual, is trying to stop weed, trying to stop masturbation, trying to stop pornography, trying to stop injecting yourself with whatever poison you decide in that particular day. Trying to stop those problems individually will leave you exhausted and tired. The real solution is to adopt purpose. You will find little to no time to engage in that activity. The moment you decide to stop addiction, you should not stop by stopping. You should make a conscious decision to give up the feeling derived from that outlet. That's all it is. The reason we chase goals, the reason we chase desires, is all for the feeling of accomplishment. If you can adopt that mental attitude in the midst of chaos, in the midst of uncertainty, then you're good. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.